That frozen dinner sitting in your freezer right now might contain more sodium than a large bag of pretzels. In fact, one popular meal packs 113% of your entire daily sodium intake in a single tray. Americans spent $77.6 billion on frozen foods last year alone, grabbing these boxes without ever flipping them over to check the nutrition label. But which frozen dinners are slowly destroying your health, and which ones actually taste like real food? Let's find out. Hungry Man has been promising big portions since 1973, and they deliver exactly that. Massive amounts of food designed for massive appetites. But here is what they do not advertise on those heroic-looking boxes. You are also getting massive amounts of things your body absolutely does not need. Take the Hungry Man Double Meat Bowls Breaded Chicken Alfredo. Sounds filling, right? Well, it should, because one tray contains 2,140 milligrams of sodium. That is 93% of the recommended daily limit in a single meal. You have not even eaten breakfast or lunch yet, and you have already maxed out your salt allowance. But wait, it gets worse. The American Heart Association recommends keeping sodium below 2,300 milligrams per day to prevent high blood pressure, heart disease, and stroke. This one meal basically hands you a medical warning disguised as dinner. And the ingredient list, it reads like a chemistry textbook. We are talking sodium phosphate, disodium phosphate, artificial colors, artificial flavors, carrageenan, the kind of stuff your grandmother would not recognize if it knocked on her front door. Sure, you get 29 grams of protein, but that is like bragging about the quality of the deck chairs while the Titanic is sinking. The foundation is rotten, folks. The Hungry Man boneless fried chicken and ham is somehow even more concerning. One tray delivers 1,920 milligrams of sodium, and here's the kicker, 29 grams of added sugar. That exceeds 100% of the daily sugar limit the American Heart Association recommends for women. So you are eating fried chicken and ham while consuming more sugar than a candy bar. Makes sense, right? About as much sense as putting ketchup on ice cream. But Hungry Man is not the only brand playing fast and loose with your cardiovascular system. Let us talk about the meal that nutritionists literally call the #1 frozen dinner to never buy. Devour sharp cheddar mac and cheese with bacon. Sounds like comfort food heaven. Mac and cheese, bacon, sharp cheddar, what is not to love? Well, pretty much everything if you care about what happens to your body after you finish eating it. This meal packs 1,070 milligrams of sodium in a single serving. That's almost half your daily limit before you have eaten anything else. But here is what really makes nutritionists cringe. The combination of unhealthy fats, excessive salt, and virtually no nutritional value creates what experts call a calorie bomb with no redeeming qualities. You eat this, you feel full for maybe an hour, and then you are hungry again. Meanwhile, your body is processing a chemical cocktail that would make a laboratory blush. The saturated fat content alone pushes you toward daily limits that the American Heart Association warns can increase your risk of cardiovascular disease. And the fiber content is basically non-existent. You are eating empty calories dressed up in a fancy microwave tray. The cruel irony is, Devour markets itself as bold, indulgent food for people who eat what they love. But loving food should not mean the food does not love you back. This meal does not just fail to love you, it is actively working against you. Now let's talk about a frozen dinner that's fooled millions of Americans into thinking they're eating grandma's home cooking. Marie Callender's chicken pot pie has that nostalgic appeal, doesn't it? Flaky crust, creamy filling, chunks of chicken and vegetables swimming in a savory sauce. It reminds you of Sunday dinners and simpler times. But here's the trick they are pulling right in front of your face. Look at the nutrition label carefully. See that serving size? It says half a pie. Half. A single pot pie is technically 2 servings. Now, when's the last time you split a pot pie with someone? Never. That's when. You eat the whole thing because it's a pot pie, and that's what humans do. So let's do the real math. The whole pie contains nearly 900 calories, more than a full day's worth of saturated fat, and 1,300 milligrams of sodium. That velvety sauce hiding under that flaky crust is basically a salt delivery system with some vegetables for decoration. The protein content is surprisingly low for something that is supposed to be a complete meal. You're mostly eating butter, salt, and false promises. Marie Callender's uses preservatives like BHA and BHT, along with artificial flavors and caramel color. These additives are not there to make the food taste better. They are there to make it last longer on the shelf. The comfort comes at a cost, and that cost is measured in blood pressure points and cardiologist visits. Speaking of deceptive serving sizes, Totino's Party Pizza pulls the exact same stunt. These little pizzas have been a freezer staple since the 1970s, and there is a reason they are so cheap. The official serving size is half a pizza, but nobody eats half a Totino's Party Pizza. It is a personal pizza. The whole point is personal consumption. Eat the whole thing, and you are looking at 740 calories, almost 70% of your daily sodium recommendation, and nearly 80% of your saturated fat limit. The ingredient list stretches longer than your arm, filled with additives, preservatives, and artificial flavors that exist solely to make this thing taste like something resembling pizza. The crust is basically processed flour and chemicals. The sauce is tomato-flavored sugar paste. And the meat toppings, the mechanically separated chicken in your hot dog chili bowl, deserve their own warning label. But here's the thing that really gets me about budget frozen dinners. They trick you into thinking you are saving money when you are actually just buying disappointment in bulk. Banquet mega meals are everywhere. Every grocery store freezer section has them stacked high because the price point is practically irresistible. A huge meal for $2 or $3 sounds like smart shopping, except it is not. The Banquet Mega Meal Bacon Cheddar. Patty delivers 60% of your daily saturated fat limit and 50% of your daily sodium in one sitting. But here is the real kicker. The Salisbury steak they are advertising is not what you think. Check the ingredients. The first ingredient listed is mechanically separated chicken, not beef. Chicken. They are calling something a steak when it is primarily made from chicken, processed in ways you probably do not want to think about. The meal contains 1,280 milligrams of sodium, 34 grams of fat, and 12 grams of saturated fat. For older Americans managing heart conditions, diabetes, or high blood pressure, this is not food. It is a medical event waiting to happen. And the flavor? It tastes exactly like what it is. Cheap ingredients assembled to hit your taste buds with salt and fat while providing almost nothing your body actually needs. Budget frozen dinners use mixed meat blends and enough fillers to stuff a couch cushion. The texture feels like someone mixed sawdust with mystery meat and shaped it into something vaguely resembling food. One bite and your mouth knows something is wrong, even if your brain cannot quite name it. Now, before you throw out everything in your freezer and start crying into your grocery list, let me tell you something important. Not all frozen dinners are created equal. Some of them are actually worth your money, and they will not send you to an early grave. Kevin's Natural Foods has been quietly revolutionizing the frozen aisle. And here is why nutritionists are paying attention. The founder, Kevin McRae, struggled with a severe autoimmune disorder for years. Nothing helped until he switched to a clean diet of whole foods and minimal processed ingredients. He built a company around the idea that frozen meals do not have to be chemistry experiments. Kevin's frozen bowls are paleo and keto certified. They are gluten-free and soy-free. The meat comes from animals raised without hormones or antibiotics. And here is the wild part. They actually taste like real food. The Thai coconut curry chicken has layers of flavor that you would expect from a restaurant, not a microwave. The chicken is tender, the sauce is rich without being overwhelming, and the vegetables actually taste like vegetables. A single bowl delivers up to 33 grams of protein, and it costs around $5.99 to $6.99. That is not cheap, but compare it to ordering takeout or buying 3 mediocre meals you will not enjoy. Quality over quantity, folks. Your body will thank you, and so will your taste buds. The sodium content stays reasonable, usually between 600 and 700 milligrams per serving. The ingredient lists are short and recognizable. Chicken, vegetables, coconut milk, spices, things your grandmother would actually know how to pronounce. Find them at Target, Whole Foods, Costco, and Sprouts. Speaking of flavor, Saffron Road has been winning over health-conscious eaters with globally inspired meals that do not sacrifice taste for nutrition. Their chicken tikka masala and vegetable biryani are not just healthy alternatives, they are genuinely delicious meals that happen to be good for you. The biryani combines basmati rice with caramelized onions and cashews, enhanced by ginger and warm spices like cinnamon and clove. Consumer Reports taste tests ranked it among the best frozen meals they tried. Most Saffron Road meals contain around 570 to 640 milligrams of sodium, which is significantly lower than the salt bombs we discussed earlier. They use real spices and seasonings instead of relying on sodium to create flavor. It is like comparing a well-crafted cocktail to a can of beer. Both might get the job done, but one does it with style. Their chicken enchiladas al chipotle bring genuine heat and flavor with only 570 milligrams of sodium. For Americans watching their blood pressure or managing heart conditions, this is the kind of frozen meal that does not require a doctor's approval before eating. Now let's talk about a brand that's been doing healthy frozen meals since 1989 and has actually gotten better with age. Healthy Choice Power Bowls represent a modern approach to frozen convenience. Their chicken feta and farro bowl dives into Mediterranean cuisine with chickpeas, chicken breast, farro, feta, and leafy greens. The Simply Steamers Beef Chimichurri uses simple ingredients including beef, potato, green beans, and bell peppers in an Argentinian sauce, and goes from frozen to ready in 5 minutes. What sets Healthy Choice apart from the disaster brands is their commitment to actual nutrition. Most meals contain reasonable sodium levels between 500 and 700 milligrams. They include fiber from vegetables and whole grains. The protein content is substantial enough to keep you satisfied. And the American Heart Association has actually certified several of their meals as heart healthy. The grilled basil chicken delivers pasta, chicken, and flavorful vegetables like artichokes, peppers, squash, and spinach at only 470 milligrams of sodium. That's less than a quarter of your daily limit. Compare that to the Hungry Man meals pushing past 2,000 milligrams, and you start to understand why brand choice matters. For folks who shop at Trader Joe's, the frozen section is basically a treasure chest hiding in plain sight. Trader Joe's Chicken Burrito Bowl has been a customer favorite for years, and for good reason. The portion is generous, the price is reasonable, and the flavor actually surprises you. Chicken, beans, rice, and vegetables all cooked together in a way that does not taste like it came from a freezer. Their frozen Indian and Thai meals bring authentic flavors without the sodium assault. The ingredient lists stay short, the prices stay affordable, and the quality remains consistent, which is more than you can say for most grocery store brands. The key to Trader Joe's success in frozen foods is simple. They source interesting, high-quality products from around the world and sell them at prices that do not require a second mortgage. Their organic, grass-fed options use 100% beef without mystery fillers. The texture holds up during cooking without turning into mush. Finally, let us talk about Amy's Kitchen, which has been setting the standard for organic frozen meals since before organic was cool. Amy's Light and Lean line consistently ranks among the cleanest frozen options available. The ingredient lists are short and easy to understand: brown rice, vegetables, beans, real cheese, no artificial preservatives, no unpronounceable additives, just food that actually looks like food. The sodium content averages around 390 milligrams per serving, which is dramatically lower than most competitors. They are non-GMO and often gluten-free. What people consistently say in reviews is this: Amy's meals taste homemade, not like something assembled in a factory. Their Mexican casserole bowl, light in sodium, contains only 370 milligrams of sodium, 50% less than their original version, while still delivering genuine flavor from chili peppers and spices. The pad thai uses rice noodles and cashews instead of peanuts, making it accessible even for people with allergies. Now here is the thing about frozen meals that nobody wants to admit. The $2 option is not actually cheaper when you factor in the health costs, the dissatisfaction, and the fact that you will probably eat something else an hour later because you are still hungry. A Hungry Man meal might cost $3, but it delivers 93% of your daily sodium limit, questionable ingredients, and the kind of regret that lingers longer than the aftertaste. Meanwhile, a Kevin's Bowl costs $7, but gives you actual nutrition, recognizable ingredients, and a meal that satisfies instead of just fills. Smart shopping is not about the lowest price on the tag. It is about the best value for your body. Next time you are standing in the frozen aisle, flip that box over. Read the sodium content. Check the serving size. Look at the ingredient list. Your heart, your blood pressure, and your taste buds will thank you for making the choice that treats them right.